Hey everybody, it's Diesel12 and welcome to another Diesel12 video. The other day I posted something on my YouTube telling you what I was going to be doing for a future video. And that is moments that made you cry. Now, it can be a sad moment or one of those happy moments. And and this is not like a top 10. This is just moments that made me cry. So, and it's not in particular order either. So let's start off with the movie If I Stay. Now, If I Stay is about a girl who gets in a car crash with her parents and her sibling, and she has a between in between death, life and death, and she sees everything that's going on. Um, and spoiler alert, if you guys don't want to hear the spoiler, fast forward past this. But if you want to see If I Stay, it's a really good movie, but boy, is it sad. The moment that made me really cry was when she sees that the last person that was alive, dies. Her brother dies, and I just lost it. Another moment that made me cry is from a video game called The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Now, actually, there's a couple of moments. One of them being a happy moment. So, again, spoiler alert: if you guys not played Twilight Princess, you said it's a really good game. Um, Link has a friend at the beginning of the game, and when she gets captured, she has amnesia, so she doesn't remember Link at all. But there's a moment in the game where she remembers where Link gives her this little trinket that she apparently made, and she remembers everything, and that made me cry happy tears. And then there's the moment when Midna again. I'm not again. Spoiler alert: if you guys have not played Twilight Princess all the way through, don't watch this part of the video. But anyway, Midna, it's at the very end of the game. Midna decides that light and twilight can't coincide with each other. So, in order for that not to happen, for what happened, for to have what happened in the game not ever happen again, she shatters the mirror. Pretty heart wrenching. Alright, so another moment that made me sad is from a cartoon. My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. Now, as you know, 9 years ago, I lost my last cat, Callie. And this episode premiered before um she passed. Like, I think it was I think it was 4 years before she passed. And it's Thanks for the Memories. Thanks for the Memories is an episode um that's built around Rainbow Dash's pet Tank. Now, I know what you're going to say. Tank didn't die, but with the way she was reacting, you think they was. Again, if you guys have not seen that episode, don't like. In fact, don't watch the video because it's full of spoilers. But she starts, going through the stages of grief. She denies, um she gets mad, and then eventually she the moment that made me cry, actually makes me cry every time I watch the episode, is when she comes to terms that she's not going to see Tank for a couple of months. I know that Tank isn't dying, but seeing him will just like break down like that reminds me so much of losing Callie. Another moment, actually two moments from um another game, two games actually, I should say, a couple of games from the series, I should say, is the game Life is Strange. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with Life is Strange is a point and click kind of game. Well, kind of. It's a choose your own adventure game. Basically, what happens is you have a scenario, you have to decide on what you do, and based on that decision, the ending will be different. So, I couldn't come up with the saddest moment for these games, so that's why this is in the top 10, because this is more or less a um. Speaking of sadness episode or crying episode, parts of me crying. It's just a sadness video. It's more of a happy, like happy. It's unless except there are a few. There's only one that was happy, but anyway. So in Life is Strange, the first game, you have a decision in the past. Again, I played Life is Strange, but you want to. Again, don't watch this video. But Chloe, the gal that you're trying to save in the game. Well, okay, so in the first game, we play as Max Caulfield, who has the ability to rewind time. And so she does with consequences. And at one point in the game, she rewinds time back to when her and Chloe were kids. And she stops her dad from going out, which, you know, he dies in that scenario. But instead of him dying, she gets in a car accident and is paralyzed from the waist down. And so you have two decisions to make at the end of the scenario. One, you can accept her, you can, you know, she make two tough decisions. One, basically euthanize her, or two, don't accept her request. Both scenarios are sad. And then you have another scenario from the game itself where you, where her and Max, um, go to find Rachel's body. Rachel is Chloe's friend, and she's found dead. Okay, for a moment. And then the ending of the game, where you can sacrifice Arcadia Bay or sacrifice Chloe. Both scenarios are heart wrenching. And then one final one, um, it is from Life is Strange 2. It follows a um it follows Daniel and Sean, two boys who are on the run from the law after after being accused of killing an officer, which kind of is stupid. They didn't mean to, but again, so anyway, as the game goes on, you have a scenario that is probably the most heart-wrenching scenario of the game. Again, if you guys have clicked us on this video, I did give you a warning. If you've not played Life is Strange 2, you've been warned. So, along the way, Sean and Daniel come across this puppy who Daniel falls in love with and takes him with him. They calls it Mushroom. Now, as the game goes on, you come across this abandoned house. And eventually, you let the dog out, and then Daniel goes out to look for it. And oh, by the way, it's the same thing as Life is Strange, but you're making decisions for Daniel, not Sean. But anyway, so you follow this trail of blood, and Mushroom is picked up by this wild animal. I think it's a lot. I think it was a lion or something like that. And no matter which one you choose, Mushroom is dead. I, again, having a cat and seeing that scene, hmm. Anyway, if you guys have any other suggestions about my next video, I will tell you that maybe you want me to talk about my favorite happy moments from that made me smile from TV shows. And if you guys have scenarios that made you cry, happy tears, or just basically make you cry because it was sad, tell me about it. Um, of course, I'm going to give an honorable mention as it kind of made me sad, but it did make me cry, and that is the ending of Paper Mario of Super Paper Mario for the Wii. Again, if you're not playing Super Paper Mario, spoiler warning, he, uh, Count Bleck, the main villain of the game, and, um, Tippy, or Timpata, as he's actually called, basically sacrifice themselves. But the reason why it did make me sad, because at the end of the game, you see them off in the distance. So that's why it didn't make me sad. But it's it was one of those moments. Anyway, again, guys have any other moments that made you sad? Tell me about it. I know there's a lot of video games out there like um uh The Walking Dead that makes you sad, but I have not played those games. But anyway, like, comment, subscribe, share. I'll see you guys in the next video. And hey, tell me what you want me to talk about next. Like, comment, subscribe, share. I'll see you guys in the next video.